another one.
This one says, help. I want to know the core tools and knowledge to start working with software testing. I'm interested in beginning to work with software testing, but I'm in need of some assistance on practicing what is being learned. Some tips or insights will be helpful. So, let's put up 5 minutes. This is similar to the other question that we had, but it is more on overall what can you do, right? So, the very first thing that I would suggest that you do is the very first thing is sign up for coaching with Tech Coach Ralph at www.techcoachralph.dev. And then everything else is going to get a lot more streamlined, right? Because we can work together one-on-one, and I can put you on a plan on, I need you to take this course, I need you to take this course. This is the amount of time that you need to dedicate to it. What goals do you have? Okay, what are you going to be working on for this month? Pretty much that's how the coaching plan works, where we are going to meticulously break down, segment everything, and have and we're going to keep track of where you're at on your goals, right? I even on my coaching calls, I even installed a AI note taking bot so that it can because it's tough for me to take notes while I'm trying to talk to you, right? So I hired a bot, right? I hired an assistant to take notes so that I can review the notes, and then I can see what we talked about last time, and we can go from there. That's a whole nother story, right? But outside of that, I would say you need to number one, get a regular QA course so you can learn all the basics of QA, right? You can also go onto this channel to see my presentations on QA to get a better understanding of all the different types of QA. I had one like maybe 3 weeks ago where I made a presentation on QA. The different types of QA, how to use it practically, what you're gonna need to learn. So that's one thing. The other thing is go to like Udemy or something, right? You don't have to go to pay like $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 for a boot camp to learn how to do manual testing, because it's not gonna pay off. But you need to learn the basics of testing, how to write defects, how to do exploratory testing, how to do smoke testing, how to investigate, how to so there's that. Another thing that I would say is like critical for QA, for people who are interested in testing to learn, is go and take a full stack development course, right? Why would I say take a full stack development course? Because it is so much easier to test if you understand the technology you're working on. Am I saying that you cannot be a QA tester if you are not a software developer? I'm not saying that. There's plenty of non-technical QAs, but between you and I, whisper voice, they're going to get phased out of the market. The more you know, the more marketable you become. So if you are able to read the code, understand what's going on, do I understand 100% of what the engineers that I work with are doing and what they're talking about? No, but I try to understand, and I try to be able to read the code. I'm able to write code myself, and it's amazing because like I'll be fascinated by hearing them talk, seeing the different things that they come up with. But then it's also interesting to me because like when I'm doing some QA stuff, some engineering stuff, like from a different perspective, it's like they're also fascinated by the way that I'm able to do it. So it's like we're learning from each other, which is a great feeling, to be honest with you, that we can come together from different backgrounds, and then we can build amazing things together. So that's why I say that you need to actually, like, if you want to be you want to be more than a QA person, more than a software engineer, more than a cybersecurity person, more than a cloud engineer. You want to be a technologist, right? You want to be a professional. So that means that you have to gain skills. And that's why you see me learning Terraform. That's why I'm doing like building websites, building mobile applications. That knowledge it makes me more marketable, right? And that's what I'm trying to convey to you. So learning the basics of testing, learning the different, like learning full stack, learning Python, things like that. Because not only learning those things, you're gonna have to use them for automation. Take an automation course, right? Learn how to use Jira. Learn about Agile. Learn how, like one of the courses that I took. I normally don't share the courses that I take, but one of the I have a whole list of different courses that I suggest in the Patreon. But testing in Agile, right? Learning how to test in an Agile environment, very, very important, right? The video I just released earlier, right? The top skill that you need for the top skill that you need as a QA engineer, right? So many, like there's so many different things that you need to becoming an effective to becoming effective, right? It's not just because this is what's gonna happen, right? Um, as Mitch is as Mitch was alluding to earlier, you're gonna find an influencer. They're gonna tell you that you can go from making 40K a year to 400K a year, right? And all you have to do is sign up for this boot camp, and in 6 months, you're gonna be making a bunch of money, right? So you're gonna spend $10,000 on the boot camp to learn how to do manual testing, and then you're gonna go to the you're gonna start applying for a bunch of jobs, and you're gonna look for manual testing, and you're gonna see that like all the jobs ask for. So first, you're gonna find out there are no manual testing jobs listed. Then you're going to see that all the QA jobs that you do find, if you end up finding one or two manual testing jobs, they're going to require 3 to 5 years of experience, right? So now you're going to be even more heartbroken. And you're going to see, okay, and then you're going to see like, they're going to say, okay, you need this type of experience, this experience, this experience. And it's not going to, it's not going to work out for you, right? So realistically, you need to learn these different technologies. And it's honestly, it's like going to, when you go to college and they give you when you go to college, you have like all the general courses and stuff like that. I think that's one of the problems with college, because they make you waste a lot of money on a bunch of courses that you'll probably never really use. Like, I remember when I was in school, I had to take humanities, and I can't remember anything from that. I took sociology. I'm so lucky I didn't have to pay for this for these courses, because it was I don't remember anything from them. It was a total waste of time, right? But if it's like on a plan where, okay, we're taking like the school that you go to, you're taking a course for Jira, you're taking a course for Agile, you're taking a course for Python, you're taking a course for testing, for Selenium, for automation, for Java, and those are the things that they're actually having you learn, and you're actually building stuff of value, right? Then that's going to put you in a much better position. I could construct a curriculum based on existing Udemy courses that will teach you everything that you need to know, but you have to put in the time for it, and then you need to find ways to practically apply it, which is something that I try to do with my tech barbarians and my the coaching group, right? So it's. Let me go back to your question. Make sure I'm not missing anything in what you asked, but that's the way that you're gonna and to end it. After you learn these things, like, and in parallel to learning these things, you should also find a way to team up with someone who's building an app. Maybe it's a very small startup. Maybe it's someone who is taking a software engineering boot camp, and you guys come together and you say, okay, let's build something of value, right? I always say value, value, value. Building something of value. That's what's going to make the biggest difference. Oh my, let's shout out to Maurice Brooks. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. You are amazing. All right. Okay, let me finish up the question, and then we'll have some more fun. Okay. So yeah, like I said, you have to add value into the world, right? Your parents will find you valuable. your sister, maybe, some sisters, not all sisters, but they might find you valuable. But guess what? You even have to add value to your spouse, right? So you need to find ways to add value, and adding value into the work they're going to into the world, right? By your work, that's what's going to make that big difference. And I think that teaming up with people who are heading in the same direction that you're heading in, you can actually it'll help propel you to where you want to be, right? That's everything that I've ever done. It's like building real stuff. I remember when I was taking the Python course, I was taking Python, and like at the end, there's 20 projects that you can do that's supposed to help you. I was like, I'm not doing these projects because they didn't add any value to my life. But you see how learning Flutter, I say, oh, I have an app that I want to build. Let me go and learn Flutter, and then I'm able to like get into the App Store and into the like test mode in like 5 days, right? I have an app in the App Store in test mode in like 5 days, right? So looking for things that are actually going to add value to yourself and adding value to the world, that is the goal. That is the key. All right. So let me wrap up that question, and then we'll get to the chat before we wrap up the show for tonight. All right.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.